Good morning, welcome to another fascinating episode of Stringman Guitars. Today we have viewer mail. So let me grab it. We got ourselves a big long box. So let's go ahead and untape it. Let's see what we have here. Scooter down here. By the way, people, I'm using a little freebie tripod here, and I just bought a new what do they call it whenever it can move anywhere, tripod, or not a tripod, but a it's a desk mount for a camera. So you can go, I can give you a sky cam, I can give you all kind of got bubble wrap. Looks like we got a long tubular styrofoam thing. Let's see what's in here. Guess you can guess it's probably, I'm going to say it's a neck. Try to save the packaging the best I can because it's got to go back to where it came from. So what do we have here? Other than a fat belly in the video, we have a neck. And this is a Carvin neck off of a Carvin Bolt guitar. It was sent to me by, you could pick that up, Mr. Blues. Actually, this is a friend of mine. His name is T-Bone. And that music in the background is his band, the Righteous Blues Band, out of somewhere in Texas. I believe he's in Avery. Is that how you say it? Anyhow, T-Bone, we are going to fix your neck up. Needs a fret, level, and polish. I'll tell you what, Carvin makes a nice neck. I'll throw this packaging over here, out of my way. You can see here, this is the frets are pretty dented, but there's plenty of meat left on there. And one thing I'll point out here, on a Carvin neck, the angle right here. Yeah, there we go. Notice it's tilted. It's got about a 12 degree, maybe 10 degree tilt. And The reason for that is so that you don't have to use those silly string trees that bind up your tremolo. It eliminates all that silliness, so your guitar stays in tune better. There's less contact points of the strings from tuner down to the bridge. You don't have these extra little things there, so you have yourself the tilted neck, which most manufacturers do. I don't quite know why Fender, G&L, and several other companies still go with the scooped out flat headstock, but they do. So we're going to make this right for Mr. T-Bone of the Righteous Blues Band. So the first thing we want to do is get ourselves, you'd think I'd have the tools out and ready to go. Hold on a second. Okay, we found our notch straight edge. I don't know who is down here touching my stuff, but they need to stop. Okay, so remove the truss rod cover here. I love this band. And in time the service starts, we always put on Christian music, and found out these guys were putting out a CD, so I got a hold of them, got them, turned on several people to them, and I love their music. So I noticed that what we have here is from about the 17th fret, no, about the 20th fret on down, there's a lot of flat in the middle from bending strings. And once we get up to about the 8th fret, that's where the dents start coming in. They're not bad until you get down to the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Of course, that's where we play the cowboy chords. So what I have here is a steel beam. It's heavy, and I got some adhesive 220 grit. And the way you use this is you put it on the neck once you've straightened the neck. And in the case of a Fender, or I'm sorry, in the case of a Gibson or an Ibanez or an Epiphone or any guitar that has a tilted headstock, take the headstock off the bench, and that way you save yourself from putting pressure on it. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the headstock tight and let the weight of the beam, not me, do the work. So I'm going to slide it back and forth here. I'm putting my thumb in front of the nut because we do not want to leave, we don't want to knock the nut off. And I'm using the same number of strokes as I go across. so as not to mess up the radius of the frets. And I already see that we're getting down to the point where the dents are disappearing. I'm not putting any pressure on the bar, I'm just gliding it. Fairly heavy piece of metal. And somebody's calling me. That was a text. It's a news thing. We are almost clear of all the dents. And the reason we're using this straight bar is because we want to take away the same amount of material, or have the same amount of material taken off before you go to crown the frets. Okay, we did a run of 320 sandpaper, and we did a run of 220 sandpaper. And there's my text machine going off again. And as you can see, come on camera, focus. The dents are gone. So the next thing to do is I'm going to mask it off, and I'm going to put blue marker on the frets. I'll explain why. See you in a bit. We have pink frets, magenta frets. Sounds more manly. So if we look, sorry for the camera not focusing, every last fret has been leveled. And the reason for the pink or Sharpie coloring of the frets is when you go to crown them, you can see when your crown is proper. It'll just be a little sliver, and I'll show you when I'm done with that. Okay, what we have here is a fret crowning file from the guys at Stu Mac, and it comes with 3 different sizes of files. One for real thin, some classical guitars, mandolins. There's a medium for electric guitars, most other acoustic guitars. Then there's this big honking one for the basses. This is a one-directional file, and you see that I marked everything pink so that whenever I do the crowning, I know where I know when I've got a proper crown. So you can only take it one way, it's not a back and forth thing. So you start on it and you grind it off. And the undersides of the file are they're flat, so they won't damage the fingerboard, but I still prefer to put on a layer of tape, that way I know it's protected in case there's a slip. I never slip. And just like that. And you have to do it both ways, since you can't go back and forth. Okay, I have got a proper crown on this. I'm going to hold this up to the camera so that you can see that there's just a thin strip of magenta, because magenta is more manly than pink. I don't know if that's picking that up or not. I'll get like this maybe. But yeah, that's a properly crowned fret. It's from this point on, what I will do is I'll use some diamond fret files from Stringman, and they have two different grits. They go from 220 to 320, and then from there I'll use ascending grit sandpaper until I reach 2000, and then I will use some silver polish and it'll be like new. So we'll get at it, and I'll come back with you whenever I'm doing the diamond filing. Okie dokie, we're back with our Carvin neck, and if you could see there's just a little bit of a pink mark across the very top. That is what we call a crown. Now you see there's file marks and scratches there. Let's get that one. That one. I don't know how the camera's picking it up, but let's go our way down here. You see that there is a crown on the frets. Now the next step is to go with the diamond files to smooth these off. I have it's double-sided, and what it does is it graduates from 220 to 320. And that gives us our first bit of smoothing, and then from there we go with ascending grade sandpaper, double-aught steel wool, then some silver polish. But that's the second step. We've leveled everything, now they're crowned, now we have to clean them up. And I'll come back and actually let me get my file so you can see what this is what we used initially. Let's see if see the camera pick that up there. That is the rough file. That just knocks everything off really easily. And then I have these guys here. Stringman makes them, and they have a diamond coating on the inside. One side, that angle is 220, you pop the handle off, and the other side is the 320. Actually, I got it backwards. Right now, that's the 220, and there is the 320. So we'll use that to clean up the hump, so to speak, and then we go in with sandpaper. So I will catch you after I use this one right here. Probably be tomorrow. Okay, we just went with the diamond file. You see they're considerably more shiny. Going down here. Still a little bit of pink left on top, because that's where you didn't want to take anything off. This here is a fret rocker, and it allows you to check the make sure there's no high frets. So you've got the short end, the medium end, and the longer end, so that you can, and then a real long end for the, if you're doing a bass. But essentially use the long one, start down here, cover 3 frets. Try to rock it back and forth and see if there's anything that rocks. There's, so far, none of them are, you know, one higher than the other. So that's how you do that. Next thing we do is we go from the 400, 600, 800, 1000, 12, 15, 2000, then the steel wool, then the polish. But this, I still say Carvin makes a great neck. And we'll get it back to T-bone pretty quick. We'll see you tomorrow. Hello everybody. Here we are with fret erasers. We've got the diamond file work done, and we're going to start up the ladder of sanding to get real smooth shiny frets. So basically, I listen to T-Bone's band, the Righteous Blues Band, and I love this song, Amazing Grace, to the music of the Animals' House of the Rising Sun. So enjoy. In the meantime, we do some of this. It's just tedium. Just to get rid of some of the scrapes and scratches from the initial work.
that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Okay, now we're up to into the sandpaper. This is going to be 600. A little bit of once again, it's just tedious. You get the idea, so I'm going to just continue with my work, and I'll be back whenever I have gone up quite a few more steps. Thanks. Be back in just a minute. Alrighty, one of the other tricks that you've seen done in the past is taking a piece of old rubber backed flooring. Makes a great little flapping machine. Basically gonna run it up and down the frets, and we're at 800 now, so seems silly, but you do the work. At this point we're just polishing, we're not trying to take more off other than anything that might be raised from having scuffs. So move it a little bit at a time, that way you have a fresh surface to work with. Finish this up, and you hop up to the next size, which is, for me, will be 1,000. Notice I taped off the nut. I didn't want to take material off of that. Let's go sky cam motion here. Catch that in the light. They're cleaning up pretty nicely. Those old cowboy cord dents used to be there. Yeah, they're gone. All the pink's gone. So T-Bone will be happy with me. He don't want pink frets. So I'm going to continue on up the ladder, and I'll check back with you. Alright, so all the sanding has been done. We're now just doing some silver polish. This stuff here works great. Takes the last bit of tarnish off. Smooths it right off. It will play like butter for Mr. T-Bone. I'll just go back and wipe off the excess. And just about 4, 3, 2, 1. Go with Sky Cam. Mirror shine. Isn't that beautiful? No nicks, no nothing. If you like what you see here, I ask that you please like and subscribe. Comments, questions, feel free, keep it clean, and I will see you the next time when we tackle some sharp frets on a Sterling by Music Man sub bass.